We're all very excited and we're looking at our compasses and our straight edges. So that protractor you have, it's not a protractor anymore, it's just a straight edge. You don't use a protractor, you can use fold a piece of paper in half. Straight edge, yes? Yeah, what? Come up and go. So anyway, you can use any straight edge, really, if you just took a piece of paper and folded it in half. Because we're not using any of the measurements on it. The idea is you just have something straight and this compass, you can actually build a lot of different things. So we're going to practice with that. And there's all different kinds of things we're going to be working on. You can construct a segment congruent to another one. A perpendicular bisector. Remember what that is? What's a perpendicular bisector? Perpendicular bisector, right? If you have a segment, it both bisects it, right? And makes it perpendicular. Perpendicular to a given line at a point on a line. So you're going to like draw a line through there. Perpendicular, point not on a line. An angle congruent to another angle, bisecting an angle, a line parallel to another line. Oh, so here's a line, here's a point. We're going to be constructing a line parallel to it. There's other things you can do with it. Now there is a really good website here. Remember, this is all posted on my website, so if you ever want to get to this website, go to the class summary page, open the flip charts, and go to this website. And I believe I have it up already, because it really does go through step by step how to do all these different constructions. So I'll leave that there just so that we know that. The reason I say that is I am really, really good at construction. You're going to have to believe me on this. What I'm not really, really good at are using the tools on this board. If you give me a compass and a piece of paper and a straight edge, I can construct the best of them. But when I have to use these little tools here, and I'll show you what they give me here. Here's the compass. Here's the straight edge. I've yet to get this thing to work really well here, so I'm probably going to fake it when I'm doing my straight edge stuff. So bear with me. I also have another resource for you, if I can find that one. This one, I put a link to it on the class summary page. I put a link to it on the videos page. This is the Regents Prep website, which is an amazing website, the constructions page. And if you drill down into these, a lot of them have videos. And we may actually be looking at some here, perhaps some epic fail moments here, getting these things to work. But let's get to it. Okay, so turn to page 2. And we're going to be constructing a segment congruent to another segment. All right, so watch what you do. Let's watch first. So here's a segment. And I put this line here as a second segment. So initially you'll have nothing. So the first thing you do is you draw a segment that appears to your eye to be longer than that one. And I'm not even sure this one is. So let's see if I can make it just a little longer. This is where it's on the complicated. So you're basically going to draw a line. Then, you ready? Take that compass. You're going to go to the original line and put your point on the end of that line. You doing it? Everybody's doing it? All right, now you're going to stretch it. Oh, it's tight in here. You're going to stretch this opening so that it matches the end of the line there. And then if you want, just to make sure you're at the end, you can put a little marker saying, yep, right to there. Now you take your compass, you put your end on the line that you drew, right? You all drew a line there, the pointy bit, and then the pencil, you're going to make an arc. Yeah? So this segment, so if this is segment AB, and if this is segment CD, they are congruent. It's kind of, you ever see, you're measuring something, maybe you take your fingers and you go here to here, and let's see, is this the same? So we're using our compass to just, with no rulers, right? No rulers. I don't know what their exact measurements are, but I know they're congruent. You get that? There's a couple of them for you to copy on the bottom. Once you think you've got that, ABCD on the bottom, see if you can copy those line segments. Steps are, draw a line, measure with your compass the original line, and then copy that same arc onto the other line, and you're going to get it. So try those for practice. Yeah, you guys did great. Let's move on. Let's see if we can get something slightly more challenging. A perpendicular bisector to a segment. Now remember what a perpendicular bisector is. So first of all, a bisector will make two congruent pieces, right? And perpendicular means straight up and down, a right angle in between. Alrighty, I'll think myself how to do it. So you're going to put your pointy end on one thing here. And you're going to open it I would say more than halfway. And I'm just going to position it kind of above here. Oops. So, and then I'm going to make an arc. Without changing the opening, I'm now going to kind of go below the line, and I'm going to make an arc there as well. Hopefully I make it big enough. Okay. With me so far. All right, now I'm going to try to turn my protractor around. This is where we put a left tack on this video because I didn't like this. But notice I have not moved the opening here. This is the same opening. Oh, I'm right here. So, and I'm going to draw another arc. They should meet. If they don't meet, then it means I didn't make this big enough. But that's okay, I'll fix that in a minute. Then I'm going to go below, and I want to make another one. So the idea is they meet like an intersection. And I got to fix mine because I didn't make it big enough. You might not have made it big enough either. So I'm going to just go and extend my other line a little bit. Okay, so basically you're opening it a little more than halfway, above, below, turn it around, above, below. And you should get this intersection. And let me see here. If I had a straight edge that I could manage, I would, but I don't. You're going to use your straight edge to connect those points. And this will give you a perpendicular bisector to that line. And let me see if I can get the video to work on here. Perpendicular bisector, perpendicular bisector, maybe I don't have one. Maybe this is it. Let's see if this is perpendicular bisector. Let's see if this is it. Let's see. So you like shut off videos sometimes? And here we go.
This is the construction for bisect a line segment.
Let's see.
Stretch your compass more than halfway across the segment and make an arc of equal size from each end of the segment.
If you continue all the way across, you can.
Connect the points of intersection and you are finished.
So these are nice little videos. They're just like 2 seconds. They kind of go through them. So just in case I have difficulty with these little tools, you can get there again. So did anybody able to do that while we were kind of viewing that one? Anybody kind of work on the example on the bottom of the paper? Bisecting these line segments. Arc above and below. Turn it around. Arc above and below. And if you're having trouble, please let me know. Try those ones on the bottom of the paper. Any questions? Some people saying they don't like this. Why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
I know.
Okay. I'm moving on. All right, now we want to make a perpendicular to a given line at a given point. So at this point, I want a perpendicular line. Okay, what page is this? This is on page 4? Okay. Oh, okay. So page 4, we're looking at a perpendicular. So basically, we're almost going to make it like a perpendicular bisector. The only thing we don't know is, what if it's not in the middle? So you're going to make a line in the middle. So you're going to take you're going to open your arc a certain amount, and then you're going to make these little lines, and then turn it around, and then make the exact same distance, right? So don't change the opening, and you make an arc on each side. So use one of those examples, make an arc on each side. And then it becomes just like the one we just did. So open it a little more than halfway. You're going to draw an arc above. Hopefully I'll make it big enough this time. You're going to draw an arc below. Then you're going to put the pointy bit on the other end without changing how this distance here, how far it's open to close. Let's make this to work. And then we make a mark here, and then we go below, and then make a mark here. So it's essentially the same thing we did in the previous example, except I'm figuring out where some marks to make first. Now what are you going to connect? You're going to connect this point and this point. If we did it right, this point will be right on that line. And maybe I don't know if I have a different straight edge I can use on this thing. straight edge. Oh, I can do this. Maybe I can make one actually. See if this works. Oh, look at that. Okay. Now, if yours are not matching up great, if they're way off, and you're using one of our, our 13-year-old or 14-year-old compasses, same birthday as you, maybe that's part of the problem. But make sure we understand that process. So you see what we did? Open, open, and then do what we did before. Arc above and below, move to the other side, arc above and below, connect. Didn't quite get them exactly here. Okay, so try a couple of these. What do you do if when you try to open your arc, it kind of goes, you're doing this shape, it goes off the paper. So you can take your straight edge and extend this out. Nothing wrong with that. If you don't want it to go off the edge, then you have to just make your arc smaller. But sometimes you're near the edge. So you can make your segment a little bit longer so you can do that construction. All right, so you got that. That looks good. What do you think? We ready to try the next one? We can come back to some of these. We ready to try the next one? We're going to try the next one. And I'll get your question in a moment. All right, now I want a perpendicular. My line, my point, is no longer on the line. The point's up here. So I want a nice perpendicular line through here. So here's what you do. You ready? So do one of the examples that you got on your paper there. So you're going to put the pointy bit on point P. And you're going to open this a bit. And you're going to be swooping it around. You're going to get an arc here and an arc here. Now you can keep it as a circle, or I tend to just pick up my pencil. But what you do is you make an arc, and I'm going to pick up my pencil. If you leave yours on the ground, that's okay too. And then you make the other side. So it's a little piece of a circle here. See it? Here and here? Right? The radius, so those distances are the same from here to here because I didn't change the width here. So far we got it. Now watch what you do. See this pointy bit? It's going to go on this intersection here, your arc and the line. And I'm going to make a nice big arc. Guess what I'm going to do now? Any idea? Other side. So I'm going to reverse my little picture. Take the pointy bit now and put it on this intersection on this side. And then you're going to make an intersection this way. So what do we connect? Point P gets connected with this intersection here. Try with the line here, see if that can do what we do. So you're going to connect. Wow, that's wild. Oh, what? Okay, this is what technology is really not. Wow. Okay. I have to get a laugh track to put on this little thing here because that was really wild. So I'm gonna erase that. You're gonna just draw a line, and you can do it better than I can because it's not working out for me. Oh, look at this thing. I'm just gonna delete my lines because I don't know what happened. Okay, basically connect those 2 points. Connect those 2 points. This one's a little bit easier, I think, than the other one. Okay, give it a shot. Wow, that was wild. Okay, you guys are doing this better than I am. You're getting this nice big line through here. Let's try the next one. We're going to work with angles for a bit. So if I want to make a congruent angle, here's my angle I want a congruent one. So the first thing you do, and where are we? We're on page 6. First thing you do is you're going to draw a line. So I'm going to draw like this ray right here. You draw like another ray. And you're going to build upon this ray. How are we going to do that? Well, my friend compass. So I'm going to take the pointy bit and put it on the vertex of the angle that I want to copy. So your pointy bit goes there. And you're just going to make an arc that goes through both rays. So I cut an arc through here. Now don't change how wide your compass is open. Because what you're going to do is now you're going to take it and move it. Pointy bit goes right on the edge of the line segment that you drew, and you're going to draw another arc with that same width. All right, so see where we are so far? Yeah, and I know the old compasses are very hard to keep things the same. So be careful with that as careful as you can. Okay, you got it? Now what you do is I'm going to measure, well, how wide open is this angle? Whoops. So I'm going to put my pointy bit here, and I'm just going to close. And it's hard to do it on this stuff here. Okay, so you're going to measure. You're basically measuring how wide is this angle open. And I'm not drawing anything you can. If you want to make a little mark here, you can. But I'm just basically saying, how wide is it open? Don't move any of your compass measurements. Just kind of move your compass over. See where my pointy bit is? On that intersection of the line you drew in the arc. And now you're going to draw another arc with that width. And then you can move your compass out of the way. So what do I have here? I've got a point here where they intersected, and my points at the end. What do we connect those 2 points? I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. I'm just going to freehand it so it looks horrible. But use your straight edge. This angle and this angle are congruent angles because we measured that opening for both. Okay, very nice. I think I've only got maybe a couple more. All right, what page are we on? We are on page 7. We are now going to bisect an angle. Awesome. All right, here's my angle. What does that mean to bisect an angle? What does that mean? Yeah, I'm going to have like a line in between, and it's going to be 2 congruent pieces in there. All right, you ready? Got your compasses? Take that pointy bit and put it on the vertex of your angle. Open it, I don't know how wide to open it, like that. And you're going to draw an arc, like you were doing when you make a copy. So draw an arc. Who's not a good arc? Yours. Yes, mine's a beautiful arc. Okay. Now you're going to open this a little bit wider, and you're going to take your pointy bit, and you're going to put it on the intersection of the arc you drew with that ray. Or you can start with the other side, it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to draw an arc. Draw an arc, draw an arc, draw an arc. Without changing this opening, you're now going to take the pointy bit, and you're going to put it on the other point of intersection. You're going to put it on the other point of intersection, and then draw an arc until they intersect. So after doing that, you should see a nice little point of intersection right here. What do we want to connect? The vertex and this point of intersection. Again, I'm having trouble with straight edges, so I'm freehanding it. It's going to look terrible. Well, let me see. Maybe I can do it with this. Let's see. I'm going to try this. It let me down before, so I'm basically aiming for that point right there. There it is. Okay? I've bisected it. Now, if it doesn't look very congruent, it's probably because they're slightly off because of these terrible compasses. But if you have a good compass, you should be pretty close. Mine's a little off because I didn't quite get the vertex here. Yeah?
What did you after you did the second arc?
The second arc, I just moved my compass to the other side, and I drew the exact same size arc on the other side until they intersect. And that's where I get that point. God bless you. Any other questions? Yes? What do you do if it's a straight one? Well, think about what that is. If you are bisecting a straight line, make a vertex somewhere, right? Let's pretend that's the vertex. Basically, what are you drawing? Perpendicular. Remember how we did that? You make an arc, go around, you make an arc, open it. It's really the same process as what we did when we bisected this angle. You draw an arc, you put your corners here, your pointy bits here, draw an arc, draw an arc. So it's basically making a perpendicular bisector, through here. Same thing, same process. Great question. Okay, try a couple of them. Okay. They're looking pretty good. You guys are constructing with the best of them. Should I let you know a little secret? You know when I learned how to make these constructions? You guys are first seeing a compass holding your hand, what, 8th grade? I think we did these in 5th grade. Fifth grade, we were making these constructions. Telling you, Arbor Hills Public School District in New York. We were doing these in fifth grade. Okay, just not to make you feel bad or anything, but the fifth graders were doing just fine. All right, a line parallel. Oh, this is a good one. All right, we want to make a line parallel through this point. Wow. Okay, so page 8. Page 8, we're going to take advantage of the theorems that work for parallel lines. Because I know if I have a transversal, I know certain properties are true about the angles. Let me see if I can get a nice transversal here. So basically, and if you look on the other side, on page 9, I do have some examples if you want to kind of do them with me on page 9. You're going to look at point P and you're going to draw a transversal through point P. So what does that mean? Take a line, use your straight edge, and just draw what's going to be a transversal for this parallel line. Okay, so just draw a line through there. And then what do I know? Like if I had a line here, this angle and this angle are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles of parallel lines are congruent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this angle and I'm going to draw it up here. And in fact, I'm going to make my line a little bit longer. Let's see if I can do that without messing this up. I do this. Right. I'm just going to make mine a little bit longer. So you want a little bit of space. So above that P. So here's what we're going to do. We know how to copy an angle. We just practice that. If I can get this thing to flip over here. Okay. There we go. So remember how we copy an angle? You're going to make an arc, and then you measure the distance. So make an arc down here, and then without moving your compass opening, keep that the same. Move the point up to point P, and you're going to make a nice big arc. We do that much. Let's try that much. So what did I do? I made an arc here, and then I moved the compass to point P, and I made the same arc. Excuse me. I made that same distance. Okay, I'm going to copy an angle now. Ready to copy an angle? Remember how that works. You put the pointy bit here, and then move this guy to the other edge, and then you kind of make them fit. And that's a little hard to do with this one. Let me see if I can get it. Pretty close. Okay, so you're measuring that. And now again, don't move your distance now. Your distance is set. Pick it up. Your pointy bit now goes where your arc intersects the transversal line. And then guess what you do? You draw a little arc here. And then you're going to connect this point with point P, and I'll try to do that with this little tool here. So I'm trying to now connect these two. Oops. That works. Not very well. Not do that well. Maybe I can try it again. Let me do this. Let me try it again. You try it too. Had a little trouble with this guy. What? What? Wasn't the laptop?
You're lucky to get over.
Oh, wait, what? How come?
You got pat down by a cop yesterday.
Very nice, though, and those are the most unparalleled parallel lines I've ever seen.
I never taken them.
Oh, yeah. All right, so anyway, but that's the idea. That's the general idea. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Going from the bottom one, connect the point together.
Well, yeah, so let's say pretend these are straight and I want to make a triangle. What you would do is pick a side, and I usually pick the longest side, it doesn't matter. And then you kind of make a congruent one. And this is messy, I know it. I am not happy with these tools. All right, so I'm going to make a side congruent. Okay. Here's one congruent side, right? Now let's say I want to add this side. No. Okay, so I know what that opening is. So you're going to go down here and make like an arc. So isn't every line here going to be that length? Then you're going to measure this side. If I can get this thing to work. So just by knowing how to do some of these, you can create some great figures. Okay, so there's one that matches. So I'm going to put it over here, flip it around, and now draw another one. So these will be this length of that, this will be the length of that. If you connect these 3 points, you're going to get a triangle with those sides. So you can do other things with these. You can construct different figures. So I just wanted to kind of show you that. Because here's what we're going to do now. I am going to give you a homework paper to practice this, but we're going to do an in-class project. In class. Okay, because when you hear project, people like, their blood pressure goes up. In class, and all you're going to do is this. You're going to create a drawing. Now, those of you that are good at art are going, yes. Those of you that are bad at art are going, no. And it can be abstract. What does abstract mean? Picasso. It can be Picasso, or it can be true to life. And you're going to use the constructions that are in this packet. And each construction will be in there twice. You're going to label each construction, and you're going to make it easy for me to find them, because you're going to turn this in for a grade. All right? So, yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit more.